I want to talk to you about the assignment, the supervisory sequence assignment, also called the developmental supervision sequence. I talked about it in class the other night, but some of you weren't there, and perhaps some of you would want to hear it again. But this is what you will see in your assignment page. The purpose of the assignment is to practice a clinical process that I call the supervisory sequence. It's based on clinical supervision aspect of developmental supervision, and the process is described in our book, Glickman, page 204 to 209. The steps in this task, and you will be doing and writing about each step of this process, is of course the first thing is you need to find someone who will agree to go through the process with you, because you're going to be observing them and conducting conferences with them. So to prepare for and conduct a pre-observation conference is your first step with the colleague. So check your book on how to do a pre-observation conference. I've also added some things to the website on how to conduct conferences using mentoring and coaching language. So I will talk about that in a different screencast. In your pre-observation conference, discuss what the focus of your observation is going to be. For example, what is it your colleague is interested in learning about his or her teaching? Decide what observation instrument you will use to document what you are observing. And you can use examples from chapter 13 or online, or you may create your own. But you will need an observation instrument so that you can either write notes or make a checklist of what you observe, so that you will have data to give back to the person that you're observing when you have the post-observation conference. So first you have your pre-observation conference, and then you go in to their classroom and observe and document a teaching session of at least 30 minutes, completing your observation instrument during the observation. Later, you analyze the observation data and put it into a format to present to your colleague. You can show them the raw data, or you can put it into a better format. But the main thing that you want to do is let them see the data and not just show them your version of the data. So when you conduct the post-conference is when you're going to present them that data. And you do that as though you are the supervisor. So you prepare for and conduct the post-conference as though you are the supervisor. So you decide ahead of time which supervisory style you will be using and make a written plan for the supervisory behaviors you want to use. And then you go to them and conduct the conference. That's your final activity that you do. And then here's what you submit. First, you write an introduction describing what your situation is, who you're going to be observing and under what conditions and so forth. You also submit the pre-observation conference plan. You submit the data analysis from your observation, describing or including your observation instrument and how it provided the data you're using, and create a growth plan that you will present to and discuss with your colleague, and that should also be included. And then an outline of what you're going to do in the post-conference, along with notes for yourself and me about what you are trying to accomplish and which supervisory style you will use. Provide a description of the supervisory behaviors you will use in the order that you will use them and the purpose for them, i.e. listening to how the teacher perceived the lesson, etc. During the conference, go over the growth plan that you have created with any adjustments based on dialogue during the conference. The behaviors can be found in chapters 7 through 10. A brief form of the behaviors is attached to the assignment page as well if you want to see the short version. And then finally, a reflection of the process. How well did this work for you? What were your colleagues' impressions and comments? What is your impression of clinical supervision? And what did you learn? And what did you need to learn that maybe you weren't quite prepared for? So that's basically the assignment. Please also look at the screencast-o-matic that regarding coaching, because that is the conversational style that will help you, that works really well with the clinical supervision process.